We finally have lighting, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Stills and Trails. My name is Nick. Thanks for joining me on my flipping adventure. It's the last episode of January for sales, so let's get right to it. I'm going to start with eBay. So this is the last week of sales in January. It's been alright. It's not been great, really. The month overall has actually been pretty good. I was expecting a little bit less, but let's get right to the sales. The first sale on eBay for this week is Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2. I picked this up in a local charity shop for £1, sold it for £4.69 plus postage. Disc is all minty. It's got the manual inside of it. The actual case is pretty good. A couple of quid. Happy days. Right, so the second sale we have is this. So this is a 2003 Fraser Bear. House of Fraser, Fraser Bear 2003 by Russ. I said that twice, but here's the tag on the back. Picked this up for I think it was like a quid, £2 in a bundle, which I had probably about 6 months ago. I've sold a couple of them on the channel, but this is one of the last ones to go. Sold him for £8. Nice little cutie, has a great little attachment here, the scarf. Makes it stand out a little bit more. But yeah, a couple of quid profit in it for me. Not amazing, but happily letting him go to another home. So the next one is a bundle. I decided to let these go because, well, to be honest, I got duplicates of them because I love them so much. And it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I've got the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring extended edition. We've got Lord of the Rings, Two Towers extended edition, and the Return of the King extended edition. So these are not minty condition. They've got like some damage on the boxes. All the discs are great. But yeah, like I said, I got duplicates of it. I love the movies. Like, I could watch them all the time, really. I can watch them in a row. Probably watch the Hobbit ones as well after that. But let these go. All of them for £12.45 plus postage. Paid £2.80, which is mad. Well, actually, it was £2.40. Actually, it was two of them were 20 pence, and one of them was £2, weirdly enough. But yeah, good profit. So the last one of the bundle of 4, which we sold, is this, a DVD player. This is a LG, I think it's a DP, yeah, 132. So we're all working condition. Has some bumps on it. Has the red, yellow and white SCART cable. It actually doesn't connect to my TV downstairs. The reason why I bought this was to go along with these Lord of the Rings extended editions. I really wanted to watch them, however can't use it, so I decided to sell it. Picked it for £4, sold it for £16.95. Nice steady profit on these. So we had a couple more sales, guys, on eBay. Nothing major, all smalls, all bits and bobs. Like I said, pennies make pounds though. So the first one we have is a Funko Pop. It's one of these weird Funko Pops, which is a Blockbuster Rewind. So it's a Lord of the Rings Sauron, but I didn't realise that there's mixtures of both sort of common and sort of rare ones. But I unfortunately picked up a common one. Picked it for £2, sold it for 4 pennies in it for me, but there's no problem with that. Next one up, then we have another mistake, actually, to be fair. It's this. If you can see the light is a bit light there. So it's a Mario. Oh, sorry, it's a Luigi Mansion 2 for the Nintendo 3DS. It was in a Mario Kart 3DS game. Unfortunately, the Mario Kart was switched up with this one, which was all the money in the actual bundle. But yeah, sold this for £4 as well, just on its own, no box. And finally, when we got all those, they were the strategy guides and a Vincent Valentine, we had a little Waka. So Waka is a Blitzball player from Final Fantasy X, if you don't already know. One of my favourite characters, to be honest. This is actually a part of a keychain or pendant, but unfortunately the actual necklace is missing, the chain itself. However, it's got some marks on it, but I sold that for £7. They're about £2.88 each item there, so only a couple of quid in it for me for the 3 items, but nice to get rid of the stuff. So this final sale is on Vinted. Would have sold for a lot more, but it had some damage on the actual item itself. But £12 from £1 isn't too bad. And it is, I have to step back, is a pure wool sort of trench coat made by Lion Dior Swiss. Pretty sure that's like a designer brand. However, like I said, it's got some damage on the back. There's all these little pittings and all that, and there's actually bits of wool missing. So I thought I'd let it go on a cheap, but let's show you the tag. So I seen it and I instantly knew it was designer, but I just didn't know exactly how expensive it could be. But like I said, unfortunately, like I said, it would have been about 50-60 quid probably if it wasn't damaged. So I let it go on the cheap. Lion Dior Suisse. It's pure Lana Verge, or I'd say that's pure wool, version wool. But yeah, £11 profit in it for me. Not a lot, really heavy item. So I'm going to have to get it shipped out as soon as possible, but I need to find something to put it in first. Right then, they sold. Quick and easy this one was. Picked them up for £4, sold them for $29.99. These are the BT twin phones. They got the bases, they got the chargers, they've got the connector going into the socket for your phone in the house. Quick and easy find these were. Like I said, pick them up in the local charity shop for £4. Always go for BT. Double check that they've been pat tested and whatnot. Double check the ports on the back. The ports are clean on the batteries. Nice tidy profit on that, but that's the last sale of January. I'm going to be doing a breakdown now for you on January, and also the first week of February is going to be introduced into this video as well because I will be away in Athens. So hopefully we'll get some good sales. Right, so we got the first sale of February. And you'll hear me talking about bread and butter fairly regular. And normally it's to do with like the small items, which you get a little bit of profit, but you get consistently. And this is one of them. So these are very lightly worn Adidas Messi 15.4s, I think they're called, AstroTurf shoes. As you can see, the moldies on the bottom here. I think they're called moldies or molds. Are in very good condition. The uppers are in excellent condition as well. These are a size 8, I think. Yes, UK 8. But yeah, tidy little pickup. Paid £2.95, I think it was actually. Can think of it, in a charity shop near me. Sold them for a tenner. Not crazy much of profit, but like I said, bread and butter. Right then, let's get into the nitty gritty, the finer details, the figures. End of month report for January. Pretty good, considering January is quite quiet. Better than December. Not as good as normal months, but hopefully this will progress then going out throughout the year and we'll be able to hit some really good targets, which I'll be setting. We'll start off with Vinted. Not bad. You know, a little bit less than October. £202.50 we made, which is pretty good considering. Good sales. The Gant jacket, fantastic jacket. Sad to let that one go. I'd love to have been able to wear it, but just a little bit too small for me. eBay let us down overall. It was £306.60. That's probably about £100 to £150 less than what I would normally expect for eBay. But like I said, January is quite a quiet month. December obviously was quite quiet as well, and I didn't list as many things as I expected to do. I've been relisting and re-going through some old items, tweaking them, changing them, and then I've been going through this even more to try and add some new items to the store. The costs were low. We have a pretty good return on our items that are sold, so our margins, our profit margins are fairly good. The costs were £139.66, which overall from £500 for that will leave us with a profit of £369.44. Now take that into consideration. If we had that over 12 months every month, you're looking about £4,000+ there, which would be near enough the target I'm going to be setting myself for the next financial year, which is £5,000 profit. Am I upset with the month? No. £370 profit overall. Happy days. Right then, got 2 sales. Unless there's any more sales, it'll be the end of the sale week for me. I'm going to Athens in the morning. So first up, we'll do the eBay sale, and it is a Scotland 2023 France World Cup cap. Now I picked this in a charity shop for £1. It was a sale going on. I was a bit gutted because I didn't really get there in time. One of the guys who was there picked up a bunch of rugby caps, but actually missed this one. I was like, well, I'm going to have that one at least. Sold it for £12. What a bargain. And the next item is a Vinted sale. Now I've had this one for a while and I really thought about wearing it myself because it is my size. At least I think it is anyway. It's a Napa, I'm going to be able to pronounce this eventually, a Napa shirt, a polo, in a nice orange colour. Let's see if it is my size. It doesn't have a tag on it. I'm pretty sure I was down on some extra large or a large, but picked it up for £1 in a charity shop again. Sold it for £5, so £4 profit. Had it up to 6. They said 5. I wasn't going to say no. I do need to shift some items. Hopefully, we're going to have an even better February. So we're back from Athens. God, what a trip. I was really tired, like genuinely tired, but now we're going to get right back to it. Did lots of awesome stuff in Athens, got loads of videos for you, but let's get back to the sales. I'm actually going to do 3 weeks together because we had a couple of sales last week. We've already started this new one, so let's get right to it. We can start with eBay. And I will say the smallest items do get you some value. And it was one of these. So this is a TDK 8mm high standard 60-minute cassette. Always look on here. So you got an 8 on here, there. And also on the back it says an 8 here. So you know it's for the 8mm camcorders. Picked this up. Well, I didn't actually pick it up. It was part of a bundle of stuff I was given by my partner. Sold it for $3.99 plus postage. So nice little bit on that one there. As you remember or might not remember, I've put up a short when it comes to Bose, I think it's Quiet Control 30s, they were the earphones. Well, they sold pretty quickly actually. So I thought they would be about between the 40 and 50 mark, and they sold for $44.99 plus postage, of course. Picked these up for £7.50 in a local charity shop. Like I said, as soon as you see Bose, it's worth picking up. Finally, for eBay, we got, well, I can either do one way or the other. So I might just do the fact that I picked this up in the bundles of the guide. So this is a Final Fantasy X-2 guide. All the data, all the information. I did really enjoy that game as well. But also, as an additional bonus, like we've been doing the packs, they get the game as well. So these two together, I think I bought this for £2. That was £2.88. So £4.88 in total. Sold it for, it's $14.99 or $14.95 or $16.95. You'll see here. But yeah, lovely little start for eBay coming back from holidays. I did keep the store open, but I made sure that nobody could purchase anything. They could speak to me about it, and then if I was happy, I'd let them purchase. Say I would deliver it later on down the line. But we do have 2 Vinted sales as well, which I actually had to stop the shop and then open it again in Friday, I think it was. So if I have a look, I couldn't get my words out, and I don't know what was wrong with me. But we'll go into the vintage sales. On the first one, nice, simple, easy sale. It's a Mountain Warehouse Parker. So this has got the hood behind, stored away. It's black, size XL, all in the bundles which you just get for £1. So when I go to a local charity shop, they have pound sales. Always look at the coats. Saw this one, very good condition. £6, £5 profit on that for me. Vinted, no fees. I'm not going to complain with that. Of course, you know that. The next one, I spent a little bit more money on it. Didn't realise there was a fair bit of work to be done on this one. The insides are not that great, and I found there's a little bit more damage on the top where the hood is. However, I mentioned that to the customer and they said no problem, it's a couple of stitches and it'll be fine. And it is a Rohan Parker or sort of windproof coat. Now, it does have quite a bit of damage. This is why you should always look when you're buying items. I did see the damage. It reflected on the price. That's why I reflected it on the price of the sale. So Rohan, as you can see here, however, in the inside it has a tear on the seam here. Easily rectifiable, no problem. Like I said as well, on the hood there's another one on the back by here. The actual shell of it is fantastic. Nice khaki grey, a khaki green, not grey. A few little tiny little marks on it. And then the only other issues we have is the sort of the mesh lining on it. So there's a couple of holes in the mesh lining, but it doesn't affect the pockets, so no problem with that. I picked this up for £7. It was quite expensive for a pretty damaged item. Sold it for 12, made £5 profit. Always reflect on the price. Always let the customer know what they're getting. Don't be coy about it. Just tell them exactly how it is. That's why the price is so low. They were quite happy to have that. Little tiny bits that need to be addressed. Cheap price for it. I make a £5. So we're continuing on with the theme. We've got another 2 eBay sales, another vintage sale. This week's been a bit slow, but I was kind of expecting that. Just coming back in from Athens and just need to re-upload some things, tweak some original listings, and then get some new items up on Vinted and eBay as well. But we'll start with eBay, like I said. And you might have seen this one in a short. It is a Canon little holder, really. I can't remember what it's called now, like a DC 2100 or something like that. It's basically just a little pack for Canon camera. You can see on the bottom there. Picked it for £1, sold it for £4.20, and I know £4.20, yeah, okay. Next one then, we have another brand which I've always said to pick up. Riker. So these are Riker anti-stress, so like blue, black, standard sort of like slight heels to them. Wedges, I think they might be called, but picked them up because there was literally nothing wrong with them. Basically brand new. Some minor sort of marks to them. Where is it to now? Yeah, just a little minor mark on this one by here. Picked them up for I think £4. Sold them for $19.99. I did originally have them up for $29.99. I was sort of going for the 20 to 30 mark, so I had to drop it down to the lower end. Still profit in it for me, so happy days on that. We have Vinted then, which is another jacket, another £5 profit. This one's slightly different. So it's navy blue and it's Koga. I picked up a t-shirt for Koga before, sold pretty well. Picked this up for £1 in the pound sales, which I normally get. And yeah, like I said, sold it for £6. It's pretty good. It's got like a little hood underneath here, zipped. Basically everything's pretty good on it. There's no marks on it, no holes in it. Like I said, bargain for £6, but £5 profit for me. And now I would say I ain't gonna complain with that. So this is the end of the video. I was going to say it's been quite consistent, and as a reseller to begin with, consistency is really important. I think that's more important than getting those really high sales, because as long as you can keep relatively, I'll say it again, consistent in your profit month on month, is where you can sort of go, right, this is my base, this is my foundation, I can build from this. But those past couple of weeks, not too bad. Like February's been going on pretty good. Should be hitting near enough my target for the month for February. But thank you very much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the extended video. If you can leave a like, a sub, let me know on the items what you thought was the best one I sold for and the pricing on them, and I'll see you in the next video.